Astrotrain has requested that we lighten our burden.
I want to talk to you about the FansToys Thomas FT-44T. This is their toy version, US toy version of their Astrotrain or their Thomas, and it does look pretty good. And we're going to get into looking at this. We're going to compare it and do some comparisons, see what's going on with it. But I did get this Show Z. I'm going to have a link down below. You can enter your reviewer code TH in the enter reviewer code if you want to help me out with that. But this figure is probably not for everybody. This is sort of a one-off, kind of a repaint. But I do want to say that once these repaints sell out, they usually never do them again, like the blue Grimlock and those kinds of things. And so get it now if you want it. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this toy version of Thomas coming up. All right, here is the box, and it shows the figure, all three modes, sort of cartoon animation, but it does kind of look like it's got real world alt modes in a cartoon bot, which is strange. And then to the back, you get to see him and all the modes. Good stuff, great stuff going on. Basic packaging for FansToys. So here we are with Thomas, still a pretty big bot, pretty big boy, same exact mold, and I think that the reissue of the standard one is out around this time too. So checking this guy out, looking at the paint on him, very interesting paint scheme, paint job, way different than what we got with the first run and the first figure. But looking at the face, so it's kind of like all sort of a cream off-white. It's not a bright white, it's kind of a cream off-white, very similar to the toy, which we'll see that here in just a bit. Got some red paint, some yellow paint on the eyes, got some really shiny reflective silver on there on those wings, and then some blue and some red and some interesting stuff going on there. A very metallic version of a red paint right there, looking very nice. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that FansToys does. You got some glistening going on with the purple that's in the background there, and he does have some purple accents on here, which I think this has to, of course, that has to do with the alt mode more than the bot mode. And then going down, we got the legs. Got some little paint apps going on right here, and interesting coloration that's going on. And then the back's still a bit of a mess. I mean, I know a lot of people, they don't care that the back's a mess on this one, but the back a mess on, say, Optimus Prime's a big deal. But it's a triple changer, and it's currently the best one on the market. Okay, so this is also a removable piece that I just put on and popped on, but it's one of those things you can have it looking like this, or you can have it look like this. Obviously, I'm going to have mine looking like this. I think that's the way it looks the best when it's in bot mode. And also looking at the face. So looking at the face, has a pretty nice looking head. The head goes side to side, up that much, down that much, and then you have two other faces. If you choose your mission to accept these other faces, there they are. And there's the little tabs that tab them in with is that that's not transparent, is it? It's got transparent yet painted. That's interesting. Swapping the head is as simple as popping this piece off and then wiggling the face out. Everything's simple until you say everything's real tight on this guy. It's really good. And then you put the new one on. If you prefer to not have a toy look to him, there it goes, and here is the head. And that's how it looks. So it looks with the different face on there. So I think I'm going to stick with this one, and of course we have the other one too. So, but anyhow, yeah, that's how he looks with a standard face and not the toy face. So just for old time's sake, we're going to go ahead and do articulation. So it goes up to here. You can kind of get that range out of them. Elbow, the bicep swivel, and then elbow goes out to here. Now, I don't ever remember it getting a double jointed elbow, which I'm not going to push it. I'm not really that concerned about it. Some people are. You do have, let's see, 2 points, 2 pins, 2 points of articulation on each finger, 1, 2. And it is individually on each finger, and it feels solid, just like the regular Thomas. I mean, there's probably not much anything we're going to find new with this versus the regular Thomas. It's all about the same. Waist swivel, but no ab crunch. And then we've got the old school hip flaps from back in the day. They don't hide away as you go up. Nice clickety ratchets, feels very, very solid. Friction out to the side, which is still pretty solid. Pretty solid friction out to the side. And then you have the thigh swivel hidden all inside with all this, which is nice. You do have a little past the 90 on the knee. And we got the little wiggle on the toe so that you can get some sort of articulation. Yeah, he never had the most articulation out of every figure, but that's not what everybody was interested in anyway. He does come with a few accessories. His gun is painted very well, and it looks exactly like it should, and it transforms down, all that kind of stuff. Of course, tabs in the hand, the way all Masterpiece, most, they've got some of those back tabs nowadays, and there's a few other things going on, but you do have to make sure that the gun clears his hand cover piece there, and that the thumb fits in there, and all that fun stuff. And there he is with his gun, which works fine. It's fine. It gets the job done. Pretty much what we would expect. Then we also have the stand, which really doesn't do any good in this mode, but it's a convertible stand for multiple different configurations and options and stuff that's going on right there. We'll see this again later. And what else do we have here? We've got this. We got this. We got the card, and we have the book. Now it's interesting that the card shows the new colors, but the book doesn't. So something else I just really don't care about, but figured I'd show it because it's just different. So for comparison, we're going to start with the G1 comparison, and he's got the short little stubby arms, but it does have the same kind of thing going on over there. And I always thought these arms should extend, but I guess they just don't. And then you can have this one convertible with this chest piece, which they have, or you can tuck it in however you would like. Slide that down, tuck that in, so you have the other look to it. Looking at the face does match up really, really close in looking at that. So they really did mimic this toy very, very well. And then got the wings back there, and that all works. Then you have the waist piece area, looks really close. And then having the kind of the off-white, then even down to this area here matches the stickers really well. And then the sides, you have some black right here, some purple right there, and all of that matches up very, very well. And I think they did a really good job with it. So yeah, that definitely matches the original G1 very well. All right, so here he is next to the original Thomas, and I want to say that next to the original Thomas, this thing is much more interesting looking than the original Thomas. Now, the Thomas first came out matching the cartoon, which is what FansToys does, and they match that cartoon and all that kind of stuff. And I think the original one looked fine, but it did look a little bit plain, a little bit boring, and this one just, it pops a little bit more. I think it just looks a little more interesting than that one. And this one also, of course, you have those sunglasses on it, which I think are really cool because they are the toy look and all of that kind of stuff, but you do get other face options. I'm just going to leave the toy look face on. That's fine for me. But you do have some similarities, like this red. This red here is brighter here, darker here, and I guess I just don't have that sticker on my G1. And all of this stuff, very similar type of stuff going on, but yet different. It's got the yellow accents here, no yellow accents there because it wasn't really part of the toy. So with that, let's look at them from the side real quick. And from the side, a little bit less going on over here with some of these, and yet more at the same time. So basically, if you got Thomas, you know what you're getting, but just slightly different color. And again, like I said, this isn't for everyone, and most people are going to want just the standard Thomas, and this is something special for a small group of people that want the toy look. And here he is next to, I think this is Unique Toys Octane. I got to look it up. I don't even remember. And then this one here is Star Toys. We just got it, so it's easy to remember. But I'm starting to think, looking at these side by side, look at how clean this one is. And I don't know how clean the FansToys Blitzwing is going to be, but I wouldn't mind seeing Star Toys make an Astrotrain. I said it in the review, but I still feel the same way to this day, that Star Toys looks amazing. It pops, and it has a nice shine and sheen to it. I mean, side by side, looking at them, this thing, even though it doesn't have paint all over it, still presents very well. I'm not saying Thomas is bad. I'm just saying, look at Star Toys do. Star Toy. Here's next to Megatron. This Megatron in Optimus Prime. So this is the MP36 Megatron, and this is the Magic Square Optimus Prime. I do have the arm replacement, which actually is how you fix the smokestack. I got that video up if you need to check that out, but that's how they look. And here's how he compares to the first toy color version of figure that I picked up, and that is the Galvatron or their Sovereign. And you can see there's slightly different colorations to them. They're not the same color. In the pictures, I kind of thought they were going with the same color scheme. This is more of a gray, which does match the original toy better. And this one's more of an off-white. So there's that. We'll see him again. Okay, as for the alt modes and the transformation, I do not do the transformations on these older molds because it's the same transformation. If there was something different, I'll tell you. And I will show a couple of the things on this that are different. Well, not really different, but with that, I don't want this to be an hour-long video, so let's get into talking about this guy here. And in the shuttle mode, it looks really good. It looks very G1-esque. I don't know if the light's capturing all of that the way I would like it to, but it looks pretty good. It's a nice-looking mold overall, and there it is from the back. And maybe that's not aligned just right, but anyhow, still looks good. I do like the toy colors on it. I think it looks pretty interesting. There are some things about the other one that are different though. So like the original Thomas, when you flip this around, you had some decal on the other side or some paint on the other side to kind of show it to be different. This one does not because it matches the toy. So that's kind of something like unnecessary to even exist. One other thing about this is the way it's shipped in the box. A lot of parts were slightly transformed in preparation to get it into shuttle mode. So it's almost like they prepare it to go to shuttle mode first, because a few things like this tab here was folded in, and there were a couple of things like these pieces on this section here. There's a piece in here where it's usually folded in. You need to fold it in for bot mode, but they left it unfolded for some reason. So I don't know if that was just like the person who was assembling it did that, but I don't really mind, and it shows that you really don't have to do all of that kind of stuff. So when you have it from one mode to the other, and it didn't hurt it at all. But anyway, it's a nice looking mode. You see this carry through from the bot mode, this painted area here, and then we have this painted area here too, and then not really a whole lot of paint. This black stripe that probably didn't pay much attention to in the bot mode is right there, and all of that kind of stuff. Yes, it rolls, and yeah, let's do some comparisons real quick. So this is the comparison I think we most want to see, is the comparison to the G1 figure, and so there it is in its shuttle mode. And I don't know if I've got too much light or not enough light. I guess I'll find out in editing, we'll see that. But here it is, and yeah, it looks like it really does homage color-wise to the original G1 figure, because you kind of have all of the off-white up top here, black. Now they did extend the black down all the way to here, which the G1 did not do that, which would have required a bit of paint or something back then when they didn't do that kind of stuff. And then the wings have the same contour outline, black outline around that purple, which is really nice, and all of that kind of stuff. Looking back here to the shuttle, you got the major 3, but they added 2 more. And so these are chrome on the standard Thomas, but they're black on this one to match this. So yeah, pretty much homages even down to the line work on the rear fin. Yeah, look good. Probably gonna get tired of looking at this, but this is the toy world, and let's see, I guess the wheels are coming up there on that one. This is the toy world. I think this is the best mode for toy world's version of Astrotrain, and so I hold it onto it, keep it around just for fun. For the train mode, I'm not gonna bother with messing around with putting it into the shuttle mode. The shuttle mode on this one's kind of like short and stubby. I didn't really like the shuttle mode, but train mode I think looks pretty okay. Here it is next to his buddy Galvatron, and again, this is something that you're more or less going to either be in on these G1 repaints or you're not, and so with that, they look okay together. I think I might display this one in shuttle mode. I think I might do the shuttle mode. I'm not sure, shuttle or train. I just think I like to keep these alternate ones in their alternate modes. It's kind of fun. Okay, so here is the stand, and it is pretty simple to use. We're going to move it to this, and then we pop up this piece here, and then we extend out these pieces here. All right, that kind of cut off for me, but you have to pull these out, and then you're gonna put it down to here, and then this is gonna go, I lost this in here, goes down in, plugs into this, and then we're gonna plug Astrotrain, those 2 tabs, into these 2 slots like this, and that's gonna hold him in place. So it's a nice stand, looks pretty good, gets the job done, it works. And since it's a triple changer, it has to double as a double stand, a dual purpose stand. Also has train tracks. All right, so here it is in the train mode, and it does look pretty good. This one, it really does look pretty good in every single mode. So, quite a feat. I will admit, it's quite a feat. I'm actually having a little trouble getting this to go all the way around. I probably have something not perfectly 100% aligned just right. There it goes. Well, almost. Anyway, it's an interesting feature right here where this goes up and around. And that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool that they did that. And, well, just like the first Thomas, it's not like it's something different, but I always seem to have trouble with that. So looking at this overall, it does have a very G1-esque look to it. And again, the thrusters are black instead of chrome. And these little pieces here are chrome on the first Thomas, and they're purple on this one. So it does really homage the G1 very well. I mean, not exactly, but pretty well. And then let's see the front, and you've got some, I guess this is a transparent piece up here, and that looks pretty good, pretty interesting, and that probably needs to be tightened up a little bit right there. So, and yeah, I will be doing transformations if it's a new mold, like the new blaster coming from FansToys and all that kind of stuff. We'll be doing all the transformations, but imagine how long this video would be if we had another half hour for transforming this guy. But anyhow, does look really good. Let's go ahead and get into some comparisons. And of course, we want to compare it to the G1. And one of the things that you notice with the G1, you have this front piece that is kind of an off-white, just like this has got that front piece off-white, which just kind of carries over from that part there. And he does have his train, kind of this piece here in the front, this matching up pretty well too. This matches, all of this sort of matches. Now this part here doesn't really match that, but I mean, that's okay. I can live with it. I really can. Of course, the back matching up pretty well with the colors and all that kind of stuff. So does look pretty good. Great homage to the G1, which is what this whole toy is. And then we bring in Toy World, and although Toy World is pretty strong for a train mode, it is a pretty nice train mode. I have to say that I think the FansToys one is a better looking train. There we go. That should get a better angle on it. FansToys is still a better looking train overall. But if I'm going to have this and display it, I'm going to display it in train mode. I should probably put that in a different mode for display, because that's probably the best mode you're going to get on that guy. Now we do have this train track, which you just fold everything back down. It's real simple, really easy. And then he goes on here and sits really nice for display. So if you want to display him on his train track, that's something you can do, and it will look okay. And I think it's a pretty cool idea that they included it, and that's interesting. It's fun, and one more interesting piece for your display. So this is my look at the FansToys FT-44T, and this is the toy version of their Thomas, or their Astrotrain, and he's pretty much Astrotrain in toy colors. He looks pretty good. I feel like it's a very solid figure, a very solid release. Pretty happy with it overall. I don't think this is for everybody though, so if you are one of the few that's in for this, I don't think they're making very many, so you might want to get on it before they sell out everywhere. I don't think it's going to sell out tomorrow or anything, but anyway, if you do want to go to Show Z, I've got a link down below, so you can get this at Show Z, usually the best price around, and if you want to put in reviewer code T8, put it in there, and it kind of helps the channel out. Anyway, like and subscribe, let me know what you think about this. Tadira Hanger out.